Everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns with another field test shooting video. Today we're looking at the Sig Sauer MCX Rattler. It is a semi-auto and 3-round burst steel BB shooter, so it's got some internal blowback action. I can't remember what the magazine capacity is, but I loaded it up. I think I got about 30 rounds in it. Not too bad, so it holds 30 rounds. We'll be doing a test. Obviously, we'll be shooting through the chronograph here first, kind of find out what the real world FPS is. I don't think it's going to be much higher than 300. I have shot a CO2 in it just to play around with it. Who couldn't want to play around with this gun like a kid in a candy store? This is a really cool gun. 3-round burst, we'll do a little bit of shooting there. We'll do some target in semi-auto, then we'll finish up with the 3-round burst. But let's get right to it. If you haven't watched my tabletop for this little gem, then do so. It is racked, it's ready to go. And we're just gonna put a few rounds down range. And we gotta put it in semi-auto. 346, brand new CO2, 318, 324, 303, one more. It's shooting a little better than I thought. Maybe that first CO2 just needed to break this gun in because these seem to be humming along pretty good. Not that they weren't doing a decent job for me. It's just that when you're shooting outside longer ranges, it seems like you can really notice if you're like under 400 or so. But anyways, we got some readings there. It says error now, but I'll average out the readings we got. And I'm going to set up a paper target downrange, 30 feet. We're going to find out what kind of accuracy we can get in semi-auto and then 3-round bursts. And by the way, the temperature kept the gun nice and warm in my office here. The actual shooting range is colder, but the CO2 has been nice and warm, kept warm at room temperature, 20 degrees-ish. Celsius, so that's around 70 Fahrenheit. Anyways, yeah, let's get to that target portion. I've got a paper target set up 30 feet down range. We're going to put 10 rounds into it in semi-auto. I'm going to use the drop the sights down because I think they're just a bit more accurate than the sort of peep with the post. Yeah, at least for me, I shot a few either way, and I just found that it was working for me better the other way. So we're just going to get in here. We're in semi-auto. Let's put 10 rounds in it, and then we'll take a look. I'll get back here a little bit. So I can get that all lined up. Where are we hitting? I'm just going to take a quick look because I don't think I'm hitting very centered. See if we can figure this out. Okay, up high. So I'm going to aim at the bottom here. Sometimes I have to do that if the sights are a little bit off out of the box. So we'll be shooting at the bottom ring and see if we can drop this all down. We'll do 8. Sorry, that was not the bottom ring. Okay, I'm going to just fire whatever that was, 8 shots or so. See if we can figure out a grouping here that's happening. Again, that's a little bit, that's not too bad. So I was shooting down here. Initially I was up here and I got a few rounds in that area. So I aimed for the rings here and I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think there was 7 or 8 shots. There might be a duplicate there. So now we're looking like we have closer to a 2-inch shot. If we get rid of this guy, it's kind of like close to, I'd say it's about a 2-inch shooter at 30 feet. So we're gonna go double round, 2 or 3-round burst mode here. And we're not gonna like shoot like crazy. We're just gonna do a burst and take a second, then a burst, and just give this gun a chance here. Okay, bottom rings again. We're done. So there's no locking back of the bolt or the internal blowback. You just got to listen for that little bit of sound change that happens when it's out of BBs. All right, so really in 3-round burst, it did open up slightly. We got a couple strays, but the bulk of them were definitely in that 2-inch group here. I'd say this is the 2-inch group that stands out to me right there. And then you got a few flyers. Especially in full auto, you're going to kind of get that 3-round burst. You know, it's a nice little gun. You know, initially I thought maybe it was underpowered, but you know, going back looking at the FPS, it's actually not too bad. A little faster than I thought. We might be just over 300, but we're getting up there a little bit. in the mid and higher 350s, if I remember right now. Short-term memory, huh? Anyways, nice gun. I love the way it feels. Sig always makes products that look and feel really good. This is a nice replica of the Rattler, the real steel. It's all licensed and branded. Check out that tabletop video, by the way. You know, it's got that little bit of blowback, internal blowback going on. You do have to, you know, work the charging handle before you can take your first shot. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to shoot anything because it is a single-only action. Brain fart, getting old. Anyways, nice gun. Really fun. I would for sure get one of these just for plinking and backyard target, you know, can blasting. 3-round burst is nice because, you know, full auto would just suck that CO2 out so quickly. At least when you're doing 3-round bursts, it slows things down a little bit, lets that gun warm up just a tad between shooting. But yeah, great gun. Don't forget again to check this out over on our Canada and US stores over at replicairguns.ca for Canada and replicairguns.us for the US. I'll put links in the description to buy it. Plus we have air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories there if you're interested in other products. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.